I mean, obviously, disappointing news that would be the case. As shareholders, we certainly want Boeing to be as forthright as possible and move this along as quickly as possible. But the duopoly nature of this industry creates, I think, a floor on the stock. We have great cash flow, despite some of the hiccups that we've seen over the last several months. And I think that if you're looking to hold a long-term position to an industry that remains consistently tied and correlated to a burgeoning middle class and a stronger consumer, I think Boeing's an industrial way to play that thesis.
This is the sort of news, Scott, that obviously moves the stock down, but I think it will bounce back, and here's why. What this news ultimately means is that CEO Mr. Muilenburg is done. If it's true, okay? If this is true, he is done. He is, whether you call him the sacrificial lamb or the criminal party, he's done. But what Phil said at the very end is the punchline. These planes will get back in the air. It's when they get back in the air that matters. Boeing's going to report next week. We need a firm update from them as to when they think the planes will get back in the air. One follow-up on that. Yes, the FAA is a regulatory body. They are also part of the political system, and they know this is the largest exporting company in America. This is a huge part, as you mentioned, of the Dow. It's a huge part of the economy, of industrial production. There are other forces at work here. If the plane is safe to fly, and it will be, it will get back in the air, and that's what matters.
You're suggesting that the replacement of the CEO is an automatic positive. You made that case, not me.
Yeah, well, let me be clear about what I'm saying. If these allegations are true, he's done. I mean, I don't think we have to discuss
that. The stock's going to get a pop.
What I said was the positive is getting the plane back in the air. Now, they're going to report earnings.
We always knew the planes were going to eventually get back in the air.
But here's the problem.
We didn't know that there was a potential, as Phil termed it, a smoking gun document that cast doubt on what the company knew and when it knew it.
Separate issue over here.
Not for people who own the stock, it's not.
In the last 20 minutes, it's an issue. It won't be a long-term issue. I'm not worried about this issue next week. First off, we don't even know if it's true, okay? So we don't know. There's a lot of opinion. Secondly, if it is true, heads will roll, and that's how it gets dealt with. It doesn't change the dynamic of getting these planes back in the air.
Does it increase litigation liability?
It probably does. That's manageable.
It is.
Yes.
Anybody else have a take? Do you have a take
I think this is absolutely a very important stock for the Dow 30 because it's price weighted. And so Boeing is one of the bigger weightings in that index.
That's why I suggested that's why the Dow is down.
Right. So it wouldn't. So statistically, it wouldn't drag the S&P 500.
Points.
Statistically, it wouldn't drag the S&P 500 down to the same extent that it would take the Dow down. However, I do think that people look at a very big, liquid, high-profile stock like this, and they've been waiting for a recovery for a long time, and they say, "Oh, there's another shoe dropping." And I think it just adds to, look, the volume is very low today across all the exchanges. And the thing I said about technology stocks, high growth, high valuation technology stocks being sold off, whether willfully or because of redemptions, I do think that's a real dynamic at play as well. So maybe combine the two things, and that's where we are.